Welcome back everyone to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the mysterious and captivating world of rare coins that have taken the collecting universe by storm. And today, we are about to unravel the unbelievable story of the 1987 quarter-dollar coin, a coin that most people have probably handled in their daily lives without realizing that one of its rare era versions has been valued at a jaw-dropping $31 million. And this isn't just a random exaggerated claim but a story backed by numismatic experts, curious collectors, and the fascinating realm of minting anomalies that can turn ordinary change into life-changing treasures. So buckle up, because this story is not only about money, but also about history, precision, human error, and the unbelievable quirks that can happen inside the high-speed minting presses of the United States Mint, creating a unique masterpiece by pure accident that has captured the imagination of millions around the world. Now, let's imagine for a moment you're holding a shiny 1987 quarter in your hand, minted in Philadelphia, with the familiar face of George Washington on the obverse and the bold American eagle on the reverse, a coin that looks like any other at first glance. But hidden within this seemingly ordinary piece of metal lies a combination of factors: minting errors, composition irregularities, double dies, planchette flaws, and striking mistakes that transformed it into one of the most valuable coins in modern American history. The 1987 quarter wasn't supposed to be special. It was part of millions of coins produced that year under routine operations. But within that massive output, something went remarkably wrong, or perhaps right, from a collector's point of view, creating a one-of-a-kind mint error that would later make headlines in the numismatic community and auction houses where the most passionate collectors compete for ownership of these unbelievable artifacts. The most talked-about specimen of the 1987 quarter is said to have been struck on a copper-nickel-clad planchette that was never meant for this denomination, possibly using a planchette intended for a foreign coin or even a transitional metal blend left over from earlier minting runs, resulting in a coin that has a slightly different hue, unusual weight, and a faint reddish undertone visible under magnification, all signs of an off-metal error that instantly raise its rarity to legendary status. But that's just the beginning. What makes this particular coin even more incredible is the combination of multiple minting mistakes, as experts who examined it under microscopes have noticed distinct doubling on the obverse side, especially around the word liberty, the date 1987, and the motto "In God We Trust," which clearly show the telltale signs of a double die strike, an error that occurs when the coin die receives multiple impressions at slightly different angles during the hubbing process, creating a shadow-like doubling effect that makes these details stand out and gives the coin an unmistakable appearance unlike any other from the same year. Moreover, the reverse of this exceptional 1987 quarter displays signs of misalignment, with the eagle slightly shifted from the center and the rim thickness uneven around its circumference, suggesting that it might have been struck off-center, adding to the long list of anomalies that make this coin an almost perfect storm of minting chaos, each layer of imperfection adding another zero to its eventual value. Some theories even suggest that this rare specimen might have been part of a short experimental batch or test strike, where the mint was assessing die pressure, metal consistency, or strike quality, and somehow one or more of these test coins escaped into circulation or ended up in a private collection before the test batch was destroyed, giving it a near-mythical backstory that continues to fascinate collectors. The surface of the coin, too, adds intrigue, as magnified analysis reveals microscopic die cracks stretching from Washington's bust toward the rim, indicating stress fractures in the die that occurred during the high-pressure striking process, creating raised lines that further distinguish this coin from normal issues. Combined with subtle lamination peels, where a thin layer of metal appears to have flaked or bubbled due to improper bonding of the coin's layers, this coin essentially serves as a catalogue of minting mishaps all packed into a single, stunning artifact. And when you think about it, every one of these mistakes tells a story: the pressure, the timing, the human oversight, the machinery calibration, all culminating in a coin that was never supposed to exist in this form, yet somehow survived the rigorous quality control process of the US Mint, circulated for who knows how long, and eventually surfaced to become a multi-million-dollar phenomenon. The journey of this 1987 quarter didn't end at the Mint, it began there. Imagine the unsuspecting person who first spent it, maybe at a grocery store or gas station, unaware that the coin they casually handed over would one day be valued higher than most luxury homes. Perhaps it passed through countless hands, jingling in pockets, dropped into vending machines, maybe even stored in a child's piggy bank before finally being noticed by a keen-eyed collector or metal detector hobbyist who saw something unusual: the faint color difference, the doubled lettering, the off-center strike, and decided to take a closer look, leading to its authentication and the eventual revelation of its staggering rarity. Once authenticated, this particular 1987 quarter became the talk of the numismatic world, drawing attention from major auction houses and collectors who specialize in error coins, each of them aware that finding such a blend of errors in one coin is astronomically rare. Auction reports detail how bidding wars broke out among enthusiasts, pushing its price higher and higher until it finally reached an unprecedented $31 million, cementing its place among the most valuable error coins ever known. Now, why would someone pay that much for a 25-cent coin? It all comes down to the trifecta of rarity, condition, and story. The rarity lies in the multiple errors: off-metal strike, double die cracks, lamination flaws, and off-center alignment, all occurring together, a phenomenon so statistically improbable that experts estimate the chances at less than 1 in tens of millions. The condition adds even more allure, as this particular specimen was discovered in near-mint state, with sharp details and minimal wear, suggesting it didn't spend much time in circulation before being noticed. And then there's the story, the narrative that turns a piece of metal into a legend, a 1987 quarter that somehow embodies the quirks and unpredictability of human craftsmanship in an age of machines, the way a tiny flaw can turn an everyday object into an icon of fascination and fortune. Collectors are drawn not just to the coin's physical form but to the mystery surrounding how it came to be, how it survived, and how it eventually emerged from obscurity. There are whispers among collectors that there might be more than one such coin out there, perhaps sitting in someone's drawer, ignored, or resting unnoticed in a coin jar waiting to astonish the world. And this possibility fuels the thrill of coin hunting for so many people, inspiring hobbyists and professionals alike to check their change every single day. The 1987 quarter also stands as a symbol of how minting errors, often seen as imperfections, can paradoxically create beauty and value. In the highly controlled environment of the US Mint, where millions of coins are produced with machine precision, any deviation is instantly interesting, but when multiple deviations converge in one specimen, it becomes historic. The machinery used to strike coins runs at enormous speeds, sometimes striking hundreds of coins per minute, and even the slightest misalignment, foreign material, or wear in the die can cause dramatic visual effects. When combined with the transitional planchette composition, potentially including traces of the 40% silver-copper alloy used in earlier commemorative issues or foreign coin blanks, the results can be truly unpredictable. What's fascinating is that the 1987 quarter's mystery continues to evolve as new technology allows for more detailed analysis. Spectrographic tests have revealed anomalies in the metal composition suggesting that this coin might have been struck on a planchette with unique elemental traces, possibly a leftover blank intended for a foreign contract the US Mint was fulfilling during that era. The 1980s were a busy time for the Mint, producing coins not just for America but also for other nations, and sometimes foreign planchets accidentally found their way into US coin presses, resulting in these once-in-a-lifetime hybrids that collectors dream of finding. Next, 1977 quarter-dollar coin. We explore the unbelievable stories behind ordinary pieces of change that turned out to be worth life-changing amounts of money. And today's episode is one that will absolutely blow your mind because we are talking about the incredible 1977 $quarter coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike with its mysterious origin, rare minting errors, and jaw-dropping valuation of $30 million. Yes, you heard that right. $30 million for a single quarter that started its journey just like millions of others at the Denver Mint back in 1977, only to become one of the most valuable coins in American history due to a combination of remarkable minting mistakes, freak mechanical anomalies, and historical quirks that make this piece not just a coin but a legend in the numismatic world. So sit tight and let's explore how a simple 25-cent piece from your pocket change became a multi-million-dollar treasure that collectors would give anything to own. To begin understanding why this coin is so valuable, you have to first picture the United States Mint in 1977, a time when the mint was under immense production pressure to create billions of circulating coins to meet national demand, with the Denver facility striking hundreds of millions of quarters that year bearing the famous D mint mark just below Washington's neck on the obverse. And while most of these coins came out perfectly standard, there were a few exceptions, and one of them, now famously known as the $30 million 1977 D quarter, was born out of a rare series of minting mishaps that produced an extraordinary specimen with multiple major errors all in one coin, a virtually impossible occurrence that numismatic experts say has less than 1 in 100 million chance of happening. The coin's value begins with its most apparent error, a dramatic off-metal strike that occurred because it was minted on a foreign planchette, a blank intended not for a US quarter but likely for a coin from a different country, possibly one struck by the US Mint under contract for foreign governments during the 1970s, a common practice back then when the Mint produced coins for countries like the Philippines, Panama, and others, meaning that the planchette used could have been of a slightly different size, weight, or metallic composition, leading to unique color tones and weight discrepancies that set it apart from any regular quarter. This means that when you weigh this coin, instead of the standard 5.67 grams of a normal clad quarter, it tips the scale slightly differently, either lighter or heavier, and that single difference becomes one of the first clues to its rarity. But the oddities don't stop there. This coin also displays a highly visible double die error on the obverse side, where George Washington's portrait and the inscriptions around it, particularly the word Liberty, the date, 1977, and the motto, "In God We Trust," show clear doubling under magnification, a sign that during the die creation process, the hub impressed the design twice at slightly different angles, resulting in those iconic shadowed letters and numbers that collectors go crazy for. And as if that weren't enough, the reverse of the coin, which features the majestic bald eagle, has its own unique set of problems, a partial collar strike and a misaligned die that shifted the design slightly off-center, giving it uneven rim thickness and a distorted border that instantly catches the eye of anyone familiar with regular minting patterns. There's also evidence of a rare die clash visible faintly behind the eagle's wings, indicating that the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette between them at some point, leaving ghost-like impressions of the opposite design on both sides, a mistake that can only happen under specific and rare mechanical circumstances, further enhancing its value. What makes this even more incredible is that all these different errors, off-metal strike, double die, off-center strike, partial collar, and die clash, appeared together on one single coin, something that almost never happens because even a single error usually triggers a quality control rejection at the mint, but somehow this one slipped through, circulated briefly, and then disappeared for decades until it surfaced in a small coin show where an experienced collector noticed its unusual color and features and sent it for grading and authentication. When it arrived at one of the top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, it caused an uproar, Experts who examined it under microscopes and advanced scanning tools confirmed that it wasn't just a minor error but a combination of at least 5 major minting anomalies layered in one specimen, each one rare enough on its own to make a coin worth thousands, but together forming a masterpiece of imperfection that defied statistical probability. The surface of the coin told even more of its story: tiny die cracks running from Washington's head to the rim, subtle lamination peels suggesting metal separation due to improper bonding during the planchette creation, and faint adjustment marks hinting that the planchette might have been manually altered before striking, perhaps as part of a test run or calibration process for new coinage materials. Some experts even theorize that this coin could have originated from an experimental batch where the mint was testing the durability or striking quality of planches with slightly different alloy compositions before fully committing to standard production, and that one of these test pieces accidentally made it into the normal production line. Imagine that, an experimental coin meant for internal testing somehow escaping into circulation, traveling from hand to hand for years, completely unnoticed by the public until a sharp-eyed collector recognized its anomalies and unlocked a fortune. The coloration of this 1977 D quarter adds even more intrigue, as it exhibits a subtle golden hue that differs from the typical silvery appearance of the standard copper-nickel-clad composition, possibly due to trace amounts of foreign metals like zinc, brass, or even silver present in the alloy mix, a chemical fingerprint that reinforces the theory of a foreign or experimental planchette. When you view it under specific lighting, the coin almost glows with a faint bronze undertone, a characteristic that collectors and graders note as unique to this specimen. And it's not just the color or the errors that make it valuable, the condition plays a crucial role too. This coin was discovered in an astonishingly high grade, likely MS-67 or MS-68, meaning it survived decades without significant wear or scratches, a near miracle considering that era coins often show damage due to mishandling or circulation. The combination of mint state preservation and layered errors turned this 1977 D quarter into an instant legend. When it went to auction, the story spread like wildfire through numismatic circles, generating massive buzz and attracting top-tier collectors, investors, and even museums interested in acquiring it as part of American minting history. Bidding wars erupted, driving the price higher and higher until it finally sold for a mind-blowing $30 million, breaking records and leaving even seasoned experts speechless. But beyond the staggering price tag, what makes this coin so fascinating is the mystery that still surrounds it. How did such an error-laden coin pass through the mint's strict quality control? Was it struck intentionally as a test? Was it a genuine minting accident that somehow evaded inspection? Or was it part of a batch that an employee unknowingly released? These questions add an aura of intrigue to an already unbelievable artifact. Every microscopic detail of this coin tells a story of mechanical precision meeting human error, tiny imperfections frozen in metal that transformed an ordinary object into a priceless relic. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were notorious in the 1970s for producing occasional anomalies due to high production speeds and aging equipment, and this particular coin seems to encapsulate all those chaotic variables in one physical form. Some enthusiasts even speculate that other similar 1977 D quarters might still be out there, undiscovered, hiding in drawers, jars, or old collections waiting to be found. And that idea fuels the passion of coin hunters everywhere, inspiring them to check every single quarter they come across, examining each detail under magnification, hoping to find another multi-million-dollar piece of history. The 1977 D quarter's fame has also shone a light on the fascinating world of minting errors in general, teaching collectors about the different types of mistakes that can occur during coin production, from off-center strikes to die rotations, from broad strikes to clipped planches, from doubled dies to transitional compositions.